We know that those Brahmins who honor Vaishnava Dharma are all high-class Brahmins. However, some people who have taken birth in Brahmin families have become inimical toward Vaishnava Dharma because they are marred by the faults of degraded family lineage, undesirable association, and false education. Such behavior only demonstrates their misfortune and fallen condition. This is no evidence that they are actually Brahmins. It is to be especially noted that, according to Shastra, the number of true Brahmins in Kali Yuga is exceedingly small, and these few are Vaishnavas. When a Brahmin receives the Vaishnava Gayatri mantra, which is the mother of the Vedas, he becomes an initiated Vaishnava. However, due to the contamination of Kali Yuga, some of these Brahmins accept other non-Vedic initiation and abandon their Vaishnavism. Granted, the number of Vaishnava Brahmas is very small, but that is still no reason to manufacture a conclusion that it is opposed to the tenets of Shastra. Nyayaratna. Why is it that so many low-class people accept Vaishnava Dharma? Vaishnava Das. This should not be...
Okay, first now ask question. Is Vaishnava Dharma is eternal or temporary manifestation in America?
Eternal.
Proof?
Just in America? Or you mean in general?
Eternal.
America is temporary.
You believe is eternal?
Yeah, but like he just said, this is temporary. So he said in
No,
America.
so make a evidence how it's eternal.
It just said in the Shastras, like Prahlad Maharaj at the beginning of creation, and Dhruva Maharaj, who were descendant or grandson of Manu, and or the grandson of Kashyapa. All the great rishis and munis throughout, and the previous yugas were also, there were many great like Vaishnavas in those ages. And
The introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada also says this is eternal, this is Sanatana Dharma.
People may not have faith on Prabhupada. For you it's okay.
so if somebody doesn't accept the Vedic literature, then you know, discussing like the word, even the word dharma, do they even know what the word dharma is? Yeah. It's like, because it's like technically a Sanskrit word. If you just say, well, religion, what is eternal religion? Then you have to understand like something about what is the soul, the eternality of the soul, and the inclinations of the soul, and then and so on. But so many people don't.
Something more.
And also like to serve. The eternal nature of the jiva is to serve, like he says, Krishna Das, and it's revealed by. He said that there's the jnana.
Something, can you give something practical? Philosophy is good, you are right, but something practical.
What do you mean?
Something tangible that people can relate. They will not think, oh, well, I have to believe this idea in order to accept what you think about.
Some prasadam.
That's good. Yes?
Do you mean like our intrinsic nature is always to serve, and if
Yes.
we serve the ultimate...
This is practical. Intrinsic nature to serve, whether somebody is atheist or theist, does not matter, they still serve. Everybody in Gainesville serves. When they don't find anybody to serve, they get a dog or cat. They want to serve. Whether he's an atheist or not, it doesn't matter. This philosophy is very practical. This is not a high philosophy. Even if you think of Sanskrit, the UF, University of Florida, they accept the Sanskrit is the oldest language. I personally investigated too. The professor, they accept that the Sanskrit is the oldest language. So when you refer the dharma word, you have to say, sir, you know Sanskrit is the oldest language, and if you don't, then you should learn from that. Dr. Francis Hamilton, who recorded, he was a very famous historian in British time, appointed by appointed by, there is a big Indian company, it's called East India Company,
East India.
and it is British company. And the British company, they hired, this is not just an idea within us, this is for atheist, believer, no-believer, everybody accept. There is a history, and you can look at the British history, and in the British history, 452 years back, Dr. Francis Hamilton, who was appointed by East India Company, they have a record of these Vedic scriptures as the oldest language. These are all documented. It's not something just only we believe. It is for the atheist also. If they believe the university modern education, then they have to accept the history that is documented. And the document says that Dharma is our eternal function, intrinsic nature of the soul, constitutional position of the soul, eternal function of the soul, eternal nature of the soul. These are all also documented. Nobody can deny it. But you have to present perfectly the way they also expect, because they are not so much inclined into the spiritual.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's like a lot of old literature that's documented.
We just take advantage of those document history, follow? So that they understand it's not like a Hare Krishna philosophy newly invented in America. But you have to bring those references, so then they can investigate, and they go online and they say, oh yeah, these are documented. Then they have something called, some attachment they will have on your philosophy when you have some record already done, something that they can relate. Then it's easy. So first thing we should always talk about Tattva Siddhanta, that every subject has an intrinsic nature. Every substance, whether it is soul or anything. Like today, you were there when Krill was like browsing about this Jehovah Witness. Oh, he was like pounding that. I understood little bit of Jehovah Witness, but this man is so much hypnotized that when you die, that's it. You have nothing left. There is no such thing called you. So, at least Mormons, they say you become a dust. And Jesus will come, paradise will come, and you will come back to life. The Jehovah Witness say 144,000 selected people, they will go to heaven. Those posts already taken, by the way. Just to reconfirm you.
I met one.
Huh?
The manager of Alachua Villas, where I stayed, is Jehovah's Witness. He invited me to their Easter. And one of those 140...
144. He's one of the 144?
Not him, but he's one of the guys.
Okay.
How do you know? They've had many imposters also, but he's one of them.
They will go to heaven, and the rest will stay on this planet. Earth will become paradise. So I said, very good, but from now till Jesus comes back, you are what? Nothing. Just becomes like finish. So what are you now? If you are finished after, what are you now? Body? What are you? The body. What else do you have? You follow? So these things, this ignorance literally exists heavily when you really fight with the public. Not fighting in a bad sense, fighting with the philosophical. So Tattagata Siddhanta is that every substance has an inherent nature. The soul, conscious being, don't use the word soul so much, but if you use the conscious being, they can relate more. That you make your presence by your thinking, willing, feeling. That is whether you are in the body or not in the body, the both way can be proved. There are many people actually experience even the outer space and all these things. Actually people are more aware. But still, the Mormons and Jehovah, they are also big number. They are not just a little group. They are big group. We're talking about millions and millions. People really fall for this ignorance philosophy. But they use the Jesus name so that they are bona fide, they think. Like, so they can be reconciled as authorized or something. But their philosophy underlining has no base. Even Mormon says that God has to come to this world to become perfect. I said there is no, yes, they do. I investigated that also. Because there is when they are teacher, they are called elders. Then the name is elder. The two elders always, every big city has two elders. So he asked them that, alright, if God has to be perfect, so what is the definition of perfect? Where is coming from? If God is not perfect, then where is the question of perfect? If you say complete embodiment of complete everything, complete happiness, complete, where is that idea will come from? If there is no evidence. By the way, they don't have any clue about false ego. Free will. Free will, they can't handle this idea, they have to give up. They say free will has to be given up. Can we give up free will? No? Why?
Because you have it.
Huh?
It's just there.
Something more?
Matter.
You can use it or not.
What if you incarnate as a rock?
Part of the soul.
No, it's always, you can use
Huh?
always use it
It's
anyway.
it's one of those intrinsic natures of the soul that we have.
Which part? Chit potency. We are Satchit Ananda. Chit potency has a free will and desire, willingness, desire. If you make your evidence on the basis of Sat, then if you ask yourself, how do you exist right now? How do you know you exist? You're just being aware. I am in Mother Lalita Sakhi's house. I am in front of Achyutananda Prabhu. Some awareness actually making you evidence that you exist. Try to understand this part of Jaiva Dharma, that the Jnani and the Bhakta, this Nyaratna and Vaishnav Das, their whole discussion taking place is about only one thing. What is it? Purifying heart. Purifying heart. When Jnani says when heart is purified, then you will have complete perception of knowledge, which is called Prajnanam Brahma, that self-illuminating form called knowledge will manifest. That is the impersonal aspect, what their goal is. Is everybody with me? Heart has to purify. Heart has to purify. When heart is purified, that time the knowledge or self-illuminating called Brahman will manifest, or you will be aware of that impersonal Brahman. In order to purify the heart, you have to accept a form of God to worship. So they are not really eager to worship the God. They just want to worship the God form to purify the heart. Is it now? If you take the other part out, the beginning, they have to purify the heart in order to see the Brahman. Is it not our philosophy also? Yes. Cheta Darpana Marjanam. Mahaprabhu said the same thing, that you have to purify the heart. How do you know I am Pran Govinda Das right now?
Govinda Das?
You know that my name is Pran Govinda Das? How do you know?
Based upon my impressions of you, how you behave.
Where?
Based upon what you've said in the past and how you've lived up to those.
Is it a boy or girl?
He's a boy.
How do you know?
I can't, you know.
Try to understand this logic. Because in his heart, there is an impression of a boy. If that impression is not there, he cannot see through the eye. Because when our eye capture an object, it reflects through this pupil, the light goes through him, and back of this retina, it goes to the brain, from the pupil to the retina to the brain, and it dictates. But if the impression of a boy is not like this, then he cannot say this is boy. The impression that dictates what the object is, it's coming from thinking, willing, feeling. This thinking, willing, feeling, where this originally emanating from? From soul. The existence of the soul is only by that. If you take thinking, feeling, willing out, you don't have existence. Even though we do experience, like in a deep sleep, we say that thinking, willing, feeling literally dissolved. That's not dissolved, that's dissolve of material thinking, feeling, willing. But intelligence is still sustained, existed. This is very important because here he says that if your heart is purified, that time the knowledge of impersonal Brahman will appear. So in order to do that, they are accepting one of the 5 gods to worship. Yes, Prabhu.
From another angle, the illustration of the eternality of the soul, the illustration of the changing bodies. You ask this to people, they always say the same thing. You can say, you were born, you had a baby body, yes? Yes. Where's your baby body now? And they always say, it grew. And Prabhupada would say, that is ignorance. Your baby body was stretched out? No. Tissue by tissue, cell by cell, it changes. Until finally the whole body is changed.
Transformation.
Obviously, Janani behind you, like changing clothes. Now you have some memory that only happened to you, didn't happen to anybody else. I'm talking. Just we're picking on you.
Yeah.
You have some memory?
Yeah.
What else? Say something. We're in 3rd grade and...
In 3rd grade, see, I got beat up by a bunch of girls.
Yeah, that didn't happen. that
That's
didn't
not a good
happen
memory.
to anybody else here. Except you. Yes, it didn't.
Yeah.
Those girls didn't beat anybody else over you. That is your memory. You were that same person? Or was it him?
I was
That
the
was
same
you.
person, yeah.
Then. Wasn't anybody else.
I hope I was someone else.
You were still here. But the body older?
Yeah, that did.
Body changed. You stayed the same.
That's good. Don't tell this story anybody else. You're beat up by the girls.
There was like 10 of them.
That's fair.
But therefore, then they may get to, so then when you die, then
I couldn't do it.
this body is completely gone to. They can make that change. They have some
skinny.
intelligence.
That was big.
You are big?
They
They still beat you
they
up?
snuck up behind me
What
and
did
kicked me
you
in
do
the...
to those?
I was done for after that. Not only that, they covered me in glitter.
Okay. Don't give whole details. Okay. So let's go back. Now let's come to this point. When the soul misuse the free will, that time on the misuse of free will, the allure activities of material nature attracted him, and then a sheet or covered him, that's called the birthplace of false ego. Now this is very interesting. The soul does not want to serve the God, is the birthplace of false ego. What is literary means? Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma, he says that's how the false ego first appear. What is literary means? That if so long the soul don't want to surrender and submit will of God or Guru, and serve, his propensity to enjoy the material world will sustain. He can never, no way can escape. Why? Because the false ego is originally originating from Shiva consciousness, Shambhu consciousness. This is what false ego is. Shambhu Tattva, false ego, is originating from there on the basis of this. Shambhu is the master of this world. In order to enjoy this world, you have to have a lording over and controlling. These two propensity will be there. Not possible to give up. Not possible. So when the soul, or I, the soul, did not want to serve God, Krishna, that time this Shiva consciousness, who has a legitimate right to enjoy the Prakriti, nature, entered in me. That's what the origin of heart contamination. And later on, it's manifesting through Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. Yes, bro.
This is where we get the name Bhavananda. Many people mispronounce it as Bhavananda, meaning the ecstasy of Bhava. But Bhava means the material world. Who enjoys the material world? Only Shiva can enjoy the
Is that why
Everybody else.
Is that why Prabhupada gave him the name?
no comment.
Huh?
So it's Bhavananda?
Bhavananda, yes.
Bhavananda. Not Bhavananda.
No.
Bhavananda.
Okay, see, I always thought it was the other.
Have we all?
Oh.
Anyway, we are not here to talk about this, but
No, I didn't mean that.
no, I know.
He was, but no, that devotee told me that he was up early in the morning and Prabhupada, he said to me, Bhavananda. I said, you said Bhavananda to you? Aha! It's not Bhavananda, it's Bhavananda.
Okay. We go to the next person.
Okay. Yeah, right now. Why is it that so many low-class people accept Vaishnava Dharma, Vaishnava Das? This should not be the cause for doubt. Most low-class people consider themselves quite wretched and downtrodden, and thus they are eligible for the mercy of Vaishnavas, without which one cannot become a Vaishnava. Humility cannot touch the heart of one who is intoxicated with the pride of high birth and wealth, and consequently it is very rare for such people to attain the mercy of Vaishnavas. Nyayaratna. I don't care to discuss the subject any further. I can see that you will inevitably quote the harsh descriptions from the Shastras of the Brahmanas of Kali Yuga. I feel greatly pained when I hear particular statements from the Shastras, such as this one from the Varaha Purana. Rakshasa Kalim Ashritya Jhete Brahma Yonshu. Taking refuge of the age of Kali, demons are born in the families of Brahmins. Let us not pursue this topic any further. Now please tell me why you don't respect Sri Shankaracharya, who is a limitless ocean of knowledge. Vaishnava Das. Why do you say that? We consider Shankaracharya to be an incarnation of Sri Mahadev. Sriman Mahaprabhu instructed us to honor him by addressing him as Acharya. We only reject his Mayavad doctrine because it is covered form of Buddhism, which the Vedas do not support. On Bhagavan's order, Shankaracharya distorted the meaning of the Vedas, Vedanta and Gita, and he broadcast the false doctrine of impersonal monism known as Advaitavad, to convert those men who have demoniac nature. What fault is there in this for which Shankaracharya should be condemned? Buddhadev is an avatar of Bhagavan, who also established and preached the doctrine that is opposed to the Vedas.
Where they are coming from? Where this demoniac nature coming from? That Shankaracharya was needed to guide or divert them from the innocent public.
Well, it wasn't like in that time before Buddha appeared, the Brahmins, because they were becoming degraded, they were doing these Gomeda and Ashrameda yagyas and eating the flesh and using their position to exploit people. So Buddha rejected the Vedas, and then they were still.
Go before.
But why?
You mean like with Parikshit Maharaj, like beginning of Kali Yuga, or
Yeah.
Well, because Kali was beating on the bull of Dharma, or the bull of religion, and he had beat off the 3 legs of religion, compassion, cleanliness, honesty, and austerity.
Because all the men died in the war.
Oh, because all the real Kshatriyas, and the what was left were like the fallen,
The
Malachas and
rest progeny, they came up to take revenge.
Yeah.
Yes. They wanted to take revenge.
You mean the descendants of the ones who lost? Or,
Yeah. Yeah.
On the side of Duryodhana, that were outside of Bharat.
They wanted to take revenge. In the revenge, they wanted to exploit the scriptures. They want result of the scriptures, but not develop the quality, take advantage of it.
Huh.
That's why are just pre-Buddhism conception. The reason Buddha had to appear because they are not a Brahmana by qualification. They are demon in disguise of the form of Brahmana, taking advantage of the Veda.
Mm-hmm.
So Buddha came, he just diverted them. He just diverted them, that's all. What's required.
But did Buddha really know and Shankara and other avatars, did they know the full Achintya Veda but were sent just to reveal this much?
Yes,
You did.
they did. Buddha knew very well. But he had to do only particular job, which is atheistic. And he did it.
Did Sankaracharya and Buddha ever teach Vaishnava Dharma to a select few disciples?
Sankaracharya, that we follow that Astakali, well, we don't do Astakali Lila, but Astakali Lila is coming from Sadasiva. There is 2 types of Astakali Lila, and one Astakali Lila is coming from Sadasiva. It's the same Sankaracharya.
The Astakali Lila is coming from
Sadasiva's explanation.
Like written about Astakali Lila with Radha and Krishna? Like, for instance, like what shastras are you referring to?
Agama Shastra is there. Sanat Samhita also explains this, but Shiva spoke. So they are fully aware.
Didn't at the end of Sankaracharya's life he also said, you fools, you should worship?
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Sanskrit is a very poetic. Mora mate means you fool or my opinion. Both can be used. Because he did not write it, he said it. Now they are writing it. I don't know in English. If you put Sanskrit mura like this, mu is a fool. If you put a, ma, or means my opinion. So it's kind of like they have their own.
The Devanagari was more recent, right? That came like even a few thousand years into Kali Yuga. It wasn't written as Devanagari until sometime later. At least it's something I heard, but I don't know if that's how much, or like the actual, history as far as the written
format.
Written format of
3600.
Devanagari.
3600. Huh?
Did Shankaracharya write Jagannatha?
Yes.
Radha Kripa Katak. What?
And this Nishinga Mamadehi Karavalamvam Stotra. Prince Nishinga.
He's Sankaracharya, even though he was Mayavadi, you go to Guru Bayu today, you see the history of their worshipping process, just like Ramanujacharya's process. He even told in Guru Bayu till today. Guru Bayu, if you go to Guru Bayu, there is a whole description in the wall how Sankaracharya told them how to worship Narayan, Krishna.
Was that in the Panchupasana?
No, not in Panchopasana.
Just
It's
specifically.
Vaishnava. So it's very, very confusing because he did establish, he even told his mother to go there. He says dream is false, but his grandfather Manda Ghosh had a dream that Shiva is coming from the womb of his daughter, and he revealed that. And when Shankaracharya grown up, he says, "Oh, your grandfather knew this." So he knows the truth in one side. He even confessed this. But then when he writes, he said, dreams is false. Nobody believes dreams. But then he asks the personal questions, like little attacking. Anyway, we go on.
Buddhadev is an avatar. Was it you already?
Buddhadev is an avatar of Bhagavan who also established and preached a doctrine that is opposed to the Vedas. But do descendants of the Aryans condemn him for this? Someone may disagree with such activities of Sri Bhagavan and Mahadev and claim that they are unjust. But we say that Bhagavan is the protector of the universe. And Sri
Now in Brihad Bhagavatam Mitha, if you remember it, this is very interesting, that when Narad Muni asked Shiva that you are pleasing, Shiva actually denied in the beginning. You understand? Shiva denied, "Oh no, I am a sinful, I am doing all horrible things." Then Narad Muni says, "No, you are not doing horrible things, you are actually pleasing the Lord." Because by saying everybody not to worship God, they are the God, he was actually doing bhakti yoga, pure bhakti yoga. Because that was pleasing the Lord. That was pure bhakti. But those who follows, they are doing all bhakti, non-devotional. So, but in the beginning he did not agree. But Narad Muni pressured, and then he gave the whole history. Then Shiva smiled. Okay. So it's very difficult. If somebody even meets Shiva, not necessarily he will know the truth. You understand the logic? Even if somebody meet Lord Shiva, he will not be able to know the truth unless Shiva reveals it. It's very interesting. Just because somebody knows Shiva doesn't mean he knows the truth. So like that. Go ahead.
Someone may disagree with such activities of Sri Bhagavan and Mahadev and claim that they are unjust. We say that Bhagavan is the protector of the universe and Sri Mahadev is his representative, and they are both all-knowing and all-auspicious. Bhagavan and Mahadev cannot possibly be guilty of injustice. Those who blame them are ignorant and narrow-minded and cannot understand the deeper significance of their activities.
Yes.
Bhagavan and his activities are beyond human reasoning, so intelligent people should never think, Ishvara should not have done that. It would have been better for him to do this.
Okay, let now stop here for a moment. When we say Shiva, we should be very careful. We should say the origin Shiva, Sadashiva, this Vishnu Tattva, we are not concerned about that, because that's self-illuminating, same with Krishna. Never comes under Maya or material world event. But when you are talking about Shambhu Tattva here, this is a Sangsha Bhava Avesh. It is not Sangsha means my hand, is not me, my hand. So Sangsha, when you say Sangsha, in Sanatana Shiksha we learned that Swayam Roop means Srimati Radhika's Krishna. Then Swayam Roop, when manifest to the energy, then is called Swayam Prakash, manifesting. Swayam Prakash has a Vaibhav Prakash and Prabhav Prakash. Prabhav Prakash means he himself with the same conception, same form, manifesting many form. But this many form is not like one. Like all Krishna with the gopi, 1 billion Krishna with 1 billion gopi. Or 16,108 Krishna with 16,108 Krishna with 16,108 queens. Are they same, all same Krishna? Yes?
Yeah. No. They're
No? Yes?
They're reciprocating feelings. Some tattva, yes, we can also. Because they're reciprocating with the devotees' different feelings.
Oh, thank you.
Jai Ho.
Jai Ho. Haribol, the door was locked.
No, it's not. You have to push. I know, but whoever.
I suppose you did not want any late comers. Is it really locked? Maybe you should
No,
check.
it's hard. It's hard to push open.
I had to push.
Maybe you should put a little.
Sign.
Please push harder.
Please. Oh,
No, we heard somebody at the door.
I know.
we heard.
I heard somebody like try to open the door,
Yeah,
but
she
then
was leaving when I.
Who?
Okay, never mind. Don't worry. So. Huh? No, I know how to put it on. Don't worry. Put it in your head. You're making a humiliation. You got beaten up at 3 years old by the 10 ladies. Such a humiliation story.
He was just a little Vaishnava.
So, is the, yeah?
Can you define what you mean when you say the same?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's open to so much interpretation. Is it the same? Is he the same?
If you marry a girl, and I'm not married, but I got married after. So you married, I married. And we have a family life. Are we same or different? Obviously, everybody will say, oh, it's different.
Different.
Right? Yes, no?
The way you
No,
are
it's
The
not so
concept
simple.
of
It's not so simple.
of
Same
their
in what? Like, for example, you could say an apple and an orange are the same because they're both fruits and they're different from vegetables. In that sense, they're the same, but they're different kinds of fruits. So in that sense, they're not the same. So the word "same" is open to a lot of interpretation.
Okay. Good. Thank you. So when you say Prabha Prakash, one Krishna with Visakha Devi, one Krishna with Lalita Sakhi, or one Krishna with Satyabhama, one Krishna with Rukmini Devi.
Yeah.
Is both are same Krishna? Same in what sense? Same means one Krishna originally with Satyabhama.
Yeah.
That Krishna is not with Rukmini.
Conception is different.
But their origin, existence in Supreme Swayam.
Yes, that's.
So in that sense, they are same one person. Now you don't have that experience. You are not the same person with 10 ladies. Like in Sobori Muni, whatever the original person was doing, all 49 was imitating. This is like a yoga understanding. But if the original person does not want to eat, the other form would not eat. But in Krishna's case, this is not the case. He is individually one Krishna for Satyabhama and one Krishna for Rukmini, and eternally they are separate. He doesn't make a same joke because Rukmini family and Satyabhama family is different. So you cannot make a same joke. So they are in Tattagata, in Swayam form, they are one. In that sense we can say same. Same means self-illuminating, you can say, that they never forget that they are God. Like Krishna never forgets he is God. But Ladini Shakti covers his Sambit potency. The Sambit potency is what? Sambit potency, Krishna knows he is God. Krishna knows we are discussing in Alachua from Golok. Right? This is Sambit potency. But Ladini potency can come and cover that Sambit potency so Krishna can enjoy the Vatsulya Ras. But knowing potency is not gone. It's just covered by Ladini. It makes sense? some idea, because we want everything black and white in this world. But not possible. So, in that sense, because they are all self-illuminated, each Krishna, Satyabhama's Krishna, Rukmini's Krishna, Jambavati's Krishna, Mitravinda's Krishna, Nagnajita's Krishna, they are all self-illuminated, means always connected with Swayam form. Maya cannot touch. There is not possible illusion or ignorance can ever come. In that sense they are same. But individual relationship is not same. Completely different, opposite. One may be playing dice and his feeling, and the other person who is just giving charity in the morning, completely opposite. One may be losing in the game, another person may be, another Krishna may be gaining. They are not same Krishna. Then it will be Mayabad also. Yes, Prabhuji.
Like Prabhupada gives the example of the High Court. Judges can make an arrest, personal arrest, or he can send an officer with a summons. It's as powerful as if the judge were there, or the judge can come to your home and say, arrest him. Or he can just give you a letter. The letter is just as powerful. We say the long arm of the law. It's just as powerful as the judge. You get a letter, you go, the judge wants to see me. He's not there. He's as good as there.
Power.
What if two?
Then judge is also daddy at home.
What if those two Krishnas met? What would they talk about?
Good question.
You'll see. They do. It's not that they don't. They do. I mean, Parashuram and Ram, they had a challenge, didn't they? And Lakshman too. Parashuram challenged. Parashuram was so angry he would not even look at them. But it's the same God, same Vishnu Tattva. Then the Lakshman says, hey, why are you showing off so much power? One breaking a bow and arrow is like... I used to break so many thousands of bow and arrow when I was a child. Parashuram didn't like that. Somebody challenging like this. And he's a little boy. Lakshman was not a big guy. He was just a little grown-up boy. And Parashuram got very angry, literally very angry. And he says, this is not a question of like this discussion. You are just a little child. So I'm a little child. If he allows me, if he permits me, he's pointing Ram, if Ram permits me, I can destroy this universe. Parashuram is listening, he's thinking, who is that? But still could not pacify. Then you will say, how is that possible? They are all same God but acting like a strange, like they are really war. Because the Jogomaya covering is the mystery. That's why in Gauriya, Shakti Tattva is the most important, most phenomenon, most fundamental changes. Shakti Tattva, if it is not explained properly, then it's difficult to reconcile anything. Like you ask the Panda, I personally asked the Panda, how is possible Jagannath and Krishna are same or not? So yes. So why Jagannath told the Pandas that take this God out of my temple. All the good stuff goes and Krishna eats this, take him out. Krishna and Jagannath are not the same, but they cannot answer. They remain into ignorance. Unfortunately, it's really sad. Because Shakti Tattva they don't understand. How Shakti, Yoga Maya intervene and make everything such a harmonious relishment. That Yoga Maya's influence, Ram was aware. The Ram has to taste. What? He's the most charming boy. You remember the pastime how Sunayana, the wife of King Janak, she came in the audience. She saw 10,000 young kings. They are all in a line. And she says, I am so hurt that thousands and thousands of sun god dynasty, they are from sun god dynasty. Krishna comes from moon god dynasty, but Ram comes from... All are here. Tens of thousands. Not even one is qualified to lift up this Shiva's bow. What a shame. But today I feel very happy to see a very cute, handsome boy of Dasarath, King Dasarath, the Ram, Lakshman. But they are so little child. Big king cannot lift up this bow. How this little child will do that?
Ram was only a young boy when that happened?
Yeah. Like 15, 16, something like
Oh.
that. 15, 16 is not, I mean, he's handsome, but still, there was a big guy with a big mustache and other could not lift up. So Sulana is saying that, expressing her sad feeling that how she is deprived. But it would be nice. My daughter is so beautiful, Sita. It would be nice if King Dasharat's son could do this. But my husband, so this, what do you call, hitting, accusing husband is also there. So she accused the husband that, but my husband, King Janaka, put such a big test that everybody fails. My daughter will be without husband. Then Lakshman come out. He said, what is this one bow? I can break millions of bow. What's the big deal about it? Don't say about sun god. I come from a sun god. So when a young child speak like this, everybody is like, hey, wait a minute, don't show off so much, like they are not plotting him or giving him big credit, just like pushing. But Lakshman exhibited this, but nobody understood. That time Vishwamitra told Ram, why don't you pick up? Then he bowed down to the Gurudev and he was massaging. You remember he had a dilemma. He was massaging Lord Ram's, Guru Vishwamitra's feet. And he had tears. He was really feeling sad because he did something horrible. In his dynasty, no man ever do this. What happened? In the morning, Gurudev told him to get some flower. They are Banavashi. Banavashi means forest traveler. They travel forest to forest for years with Guru. So Vishwamitra told him that there is a big wedding going on, Swayamvar Sabha. The girl will choose whoever can lift up. Maybe we should visit. They had no idea that they are going to get married. No? Just to visit. So they given a quarter, where the quarter in the morning Lord Ram went to pluck flowers, lot of flowers. When he plucked flowers, there was a beautiful girl, first time he saw. And he was so hypnotized by her beauty. Lord Ram, after few hours he felt like so weird, because when Lakshman came, Ram, Gurudev is waiting for the flower to do puja. And he went and he is looking at the girl. This is not a character of God, Ram. And he felt so embarrassment. I can't believe I did this. In my entire dynasty, all these kings, from sun god all the way down, nobody ever did this. So he was feeling very emotionally drained. Why I was hypnotized by this girl? Who is this girl? And she was also hypnotized. She never looks at any girl, Sita.
Boy.
This is before. Huh?
You said Sita never looks at any girls, any boy.
I mean boy. Thank you. I still feel bad that he got beaten up by that. So then what happened, that when the other girls came and they took the Sita and they were like, what's going on? Who is this? A forest traveler come and you falling in love with a forest traveler? The whole world is waiting for your groom and you falling in love with a forest traveler? They didn't see Ram. So it was very mystery, very mystery. And he was massaging and he felt, and tears fell from his. So Vishwamitra asked, are you okay? He said, yes, Gurudev. So at that incident, now we go back, at the incident he paid obeisances to Gurudev. He says, Gurudev, I'm really sorry that I feel little unlegitimate, because now he sees this girl is the same girl that he was hypnotized. Gurudev says, Gurudev looked at him and looked at her before he gave blessing. It's a perfect match. They have a glance power of astrology. not look at the calculation. That's all right. That's for Kali Yuga people. But the Vishwamitra had a glance power of both husband and wife. Before they, just by looking at that, they can say if it is a good match or not. He looked at it and he smiled. Oh, perfect match. What a life. It's a perfect match. He was so happy. So he smiled and he gave him blessing. Go. So Ram went and he just lifted up. He could not even lift up. He just broke. Even though all these people, it says that Ravana came night before Ram came. Ravana came. Everybody came. Ravana also came. He is not from a sun god. But Ravana has some dynasty related to the Manus. So he came and he tried to lift up and everybody said, no, you cannot lift up. But he tried. He put entire Shiva Shakti. He was a follower of Shiva. He tried, but his finger got stuck. It was painful, such a severe, that all these 10,000 Kshatriya had to come to lift it up just for him to get released. When he got released, he wanted to run away because he felt humiliation. It was like the biggest humiliation he ever had.
But he did lift it enough to get his finger in there.
That's in the cartoon.
No, it's also in Ramayana.
Yeah, in the cartoon Ramayana.
Also, cartoon also gave that.
I never saw it.
Was he crying?
Well, they just showed that.
Was he crying?
They just showed that he could lift it up a little bit.
No, he could not lift up.
But
But
then
he got his finger cut. Stopped.
How could his finger get stuck?
He
to it?
tried to push. To lift up, you have to try to push.
Is this
So
one of
just
the
jump.
reasons that he was angry with Ram because Ram got Sita?
And so was
No. Marichi is involved. That's another. But let's finish this story, otherwise we'll go off, like we'll be here whole night with Ramayana. But it was very interesting. When Ram broke it, Parashuram comes, and then Parashuram, because Parashuram, his Ashra Guru is Lord Shiva. How can Parashuram's Guru be Lord Shiva? But it's Ashra Guru. There's a lila has to be taken place. Shakti Tattva is so nice that Jogamaya actually covered the position of Parashuram not to see who is Ram, who is Lakshman. He just challenged. Then when Lakshman was showing very heavily, again he came back. He said, don't speak to my brother like this. I can destroy the whole universe right now. Why you think of a little breaking a little tiny bow? For him was not a big deal. So that time, Lord Parashuram, he thought for a moment and then he pulled out the Vaishnava bow, which is higher than Vaishnava bow, only he carries, nobody else. Shiva doesn't carry. Vaishnava bow is higher than Shiva, Haradhanu. So that time Ram pulled it out. When Ram pulled it out, that time Parashuram was shocked because nobody has power except his origin, where he got it from. Where did he get it from? Naranarayan Rishi. Naranarayan Rishi, origin of that. So that time he immediately realized this is original Narayan. Just in a little boy form came and immediately paid obeisances. When he paid obeisances, that's why the anartha is removed of those 10,000 kings. 10,000 kings, when Ram and Lakshman was doing it, they broke it, they thought they are going to beat them up and steal Sita. Because the game is over. When he broke the bow, it's over. They will get the Sita, there is no question. It's already declared. So then 10,000 they had a meeting quickly. They were going to beat these two boys, Ram and Lakshman. They thinking just ordinary boy. But when Parashuram came, they immediately scared because they are scared of Parashuram. Every ruler in this world was scared of Parashuram those days. They hear the name, they like a pea, you know. Like oh yeah, it was like such a frightening name. Remember with the king, Kara Birata Arjuna. Karata Birata Arjuna. Who? You like to be like him? His mother actually was a great devotee. She worshipped the Vishnu. And then she asked the Lord that give me a boon to have a child that nobody can kill.
Wow.
Then
Nice.
Vishnu is very tricky. You didn't hear the story? So you have to be quiet. So then so the Narayan says, Vishnu says, well, that will be difficult. That's only me. He says, but what about me? Can I kill him? So, okay, only you can kill my Lord. So that's why Karata Birja Arjuna has to be killed by Parashuram or some Vishnu form. You follow? That's how the one of the Ekadashi manifested from her. It was a very far out story, but that's another day. So that time, when Parashuram, Jamadagni got killed and Parashuram just came. Karata Birja Arjuna didn't even want to see his face. He just sent 10 million soldiers. 10 million soldiers. That's a lot of soldiers.
Yeah.
10 million soldiers, and Parashuram with one axe, he brutally killed. How did he kill?
Speed of the mind.
When Karata Birja Arjuna, when he heard this, is impossible task, he comes, he did not see any soldier. He did not see their dead body. He only saw smashed meat. No sign of a chariot or horse or elephant or anything. Everything brutally cut into like a mash. What is it?
Mincemeat.
Mincemeat.
Like ground beef first.
Yeah, ground beef.
Ground meat, yeah.
Ground meat. Karabirta Arjuna saw miles after miles is all meat. No person sign. He never thought or imagined that somebody, one person could do such thing. This was Parashuram. Parashuram was not a killer. He was making a ground beef of 10 million people with one axe. Can you imagine?
No.
Even the chariot, even the elephant, horses, they all became ground.
Wow.
Karabhitra Arjuna was like shocked. He was like an undefeatable conqueror. Who is this? He says, son of Jamadagni. No! Son of Jamadagni. He's a Brahman. How can Brahmana? Because Brahmana, when actually this was a destruction. Brahmana should not fight like this. Parashuram, born in a Brahmana family, is a Brahmana. Why you should fight like this? Kshatriya can fight. No? When he saw that, he was like shocked. That's what the whole scenario started. So these 10,000, they are the leftover good guys, but they see they hear Parashuram name, they get like a shock. They saw Parashuram in the scenery, they just came, they are like immediately bowing down. They want to just run as fast possible at Parashuram, but they were watching the Parashuram going to kill them. What will happen? Why? Because the hypnotism of Sita was so beautiful. Sita was unparalleled, unequal. So at that time, that Parashuram bowed down to Ram. When Parashuram bowed down to Ram, all these 10 had a fear more than before. He said, Parashuram bowed down to him. Who is this? And we're thinking of killing. Out of fear, they ran away. So this Leela has to take place. How is Ram is worshipped? By those 10,000. Unbelievable. Krishna Leela is so, Ram Leela is so nice. Parashuram glorified. You know, like Nishingadev. In Mayapur, he does every day Mangalarati. From Nishingapoli, Nishingadev is in Nishingapoli. He goes to Jogopit and every day he does Mangalarati. Why Nishingadev has to do Mangalarati for Lord Gauranga? Just to show that his supreme power is beyond Nishingadev's power. Even Jogomaya is so happy to see Nishingadev praying every day to Joga. So all these incarnations, they are same as Bhagavan, but still supreme beauty, supreme personality, supreme possessor of Shakti. Balaram Balaram has a Yogamaya or no? Yes. But Balaram Yogamaya failed to recognize Krishna's Yogamaya. In Brahma Vimon Lila, for 1 year, Balaram could not figure it out through his potency. Who is this bewildering potency? There are all these cows, calves, the man, the coward boys, they are busy within themselves. Nobody looking at my brother. Impossible, this is not Vrindavan. He thought this is not Vrindavan. Then he thought, how can it be not Vrindavan? This is Vrindavan. But why this is mystic taking place? So his Yogamaya failed. He has a Yogamaya power. He is the owner of everything. But yet Krishna's Yogamaya is more powerful than Balaram's Yogamaya. This Shakti Tattva has to be understood. Shakti Tattva makes everything bewildering in spiritual world, every moment. Satyabhama's Krishna meets Rukmini's Krishna too.
So which one has more bewildering? My Yogamaya.
You want to go and see it?
Yeah, I do.
But they do cry for Vrindavan Krishna. Is the same Krishna goes there? But then he cries for Vrindavan Krishna? Yes, he does.
Krishna cries for Vrindavan Krishna?
Dwarka Krishna, you have to say Vasudeva cry for Vrindavan Krishna. Why? Do I take the lead off?
If you want.
Because you can't get any bread and butter.
What do you mean?
He has a bowl so
Krishna
you can
can't eat
sit.
bread and butter. It's all right.
Bread and butter?
You mean Dwarka Krishna cannot eat bread and butter? Where is it coming from?
He wants to just like
This
cry
girl
out for
must
Maya,
have
no?
I love this Prabhu. Haridas Prabhu is so genius. What they eat? No bread and butter?
In the morning he has to be proper. In the morning he has to do his duties. And then when does he have time for bread and butter?
I don't know. Vrindavan Krishna eats bread and butter in the morning?
Yeah, rock candy and butter.
No. Oh, rock candy is okay. But bread and butter, I don't think Krishna is hungry. Is Krishna, I don't know. I mean, possible, but I never heard it. That Vrindavan Krishna is for bread and butter. He's for makhan, dahi,
Makhan.
yogurt, candy,
Yeah, rock candy.
laddu.
Yeah.
That's
Can he
it.
eat laddu? Can Mathura Krishna
But
eat laddu?
Dwarka Krishna, he likes bread and butter. Where is it? Wait, how you come up with bread and butter story? I don't get it.
It's a Christian background. That's
Bread and butter.
Give me an idea. Bread is seeping in. You have to expel it.
They have a difference. The Vrindavan, Dwarka Krishna actually, he doesn't eat anything in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He has
Yeah.
a heavy duty.
Exactly.
What duty? He
He has
gives
to go to-
charity.
yeah. That's
First
right.
thing is charity. He gives big charity. 13,117. 13,117. I don't know why that number is, but it's there.
Oh, some
You multiply by 16,108. Then you think like, wow, every day, how many cows are there? Billions of cows coming out every week, every month. Like, how big is Dwarka? Jarasandha says to Dwarka Krishna, he said, hey, out of fear, you have a little puny house in the middle of the ocean. This is what he got, puny house in the middle of the ocean. Is that true or not? Yeah, it's true. Through the Maya, it is true. Because Maya covers his knowledge that he cannot know. This is also true, but temporary true. If really Jarasandha ever find out what Krishna has, he will have a heart attack. So it's not possible. How did you go to Ramlila? What were we reading?
We were talking about the Brahmins and
Oh.
how they started by
So it's Shakti Tattva makes it like that. Shakti Tattva. Same thing in Vrindavan also. Every boy also has a Krishna. Every coward boy has Krishna. Same Krishna, but in a particular form. Subal Krishna is not Madhumangal's Krishna. That's why there is a 96 types of Nayak, Nayika. some idea. It's not 96 types.
More types.
It's like each boy has a particular Ishtadev.
Wow.
It's not same Krishna of who is Sridham. Because Sridham Krishna has to be always careful. Sridham is a brother of Radharani. Sridham Krishna has to be always careful not to tell him every secret about the girls. Because that's his sister. He can't speak even openly. Right? So he has to say something else. So it's different Krishna when he talks to, say, who? Subal. Who is Subal? Who is Subal? Chandavali's brother. So he can say to secret all these things to Subal. So it's a different Krishna. But Tattvagata Siddhanta, one Krishna means self-illuminating, means they are never. That's how it is. Because each coward boy also feels guilty. Today he gave me so much attention. Unbelievable. He did not give attention to anybody else. But each boy felt the same thing. So this is the mystery. Krishna consciousness is so perfect in Vrindavan. So perfect. So nice. It's not guilty of this world, but guilty in the spiritual world. It's also tasty. That guilty is tasty. I have cold. I'm sorry.
I think a lot of us have colds.
Huh?
I'm developing cold.
You have cold?
I'm developing.
Developing cold. And you're coming nearby.
He's ready to sit on your lap.
Okay, we read more. Is that what we're supposed to discuss? What we're discussing?
We're discussing about purification of the heart as the essence of this chapter.
Purification of the heart. Okay, thank you. Purification of the heart. We should always remember in the throat what? 2 negative result and 5 positive result. When we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Under the guidance of Gurudev Prabhupada, when we are chanting, we should always remember there is a 2 negative result first, then 5 positive result. This is devotees worshipping. Otherwise, this deity from Jaipur idea will be still there. So long the negative result is there, the idea, this deity. Why you want to go to spiritual world? Is deity is not Bhagavan from Golok Vrindavan? Is this deity is from Golok Vrindavan or not?
Yeah.
So why you want to go back home, back to Godhead? It's like everybody is excited. It will be so nice to be. But the deity is not from spiritual world. Therefore, the engagement in devotional service is absolute platform, same as spiritual entering into spiritual world. Going or reaching God or entering into spiritual world and engage in pure devotional service, all are in the absolute platform.
Mm-hmm.
There is no difference. But we have access engaging in devotional service. We don't have access to the spiritual world yet.
Mm.
So focus should be in our mental, in our spiritual meditation. Sadhane bhaviva jaha siddhite paive taha. Nortam Das Thakur says this. Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahin. These verses are there. Krishna smaran janam chasya kurjat Krishna smaran janam chasya nija preshta samihitam tattat katha ratam chasya kurjat braje vasam sada. You at least mentally live in Vrindavan under some Brajavashi. Who is a Brajavashi? Prabhupada, Gurudev, they are Brajavashi. But in a form of a particular associate, and then you meditate. This engagement is required here. It should be more excitement than going to spiritual world. Otherwise we will be deceived. We will be deceived. Because generally you talk, going back, I want to go to spiritual world. How are you going to go to spiritual world? Spiritual world is not abstract, it's an engagement. Cultivation of activities through the mind, body and speech. in a favorable attitude. So this has to be done here. Otherwise this deity form here will be still remain not absolute. This form of the Krishna nose is like a little not. This is mundane talks. I like that deity in the temple, or that temple is even better. This is mundane talk. This is not Bhagavad Buddhi. This is not spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligence means every deity is directly representing Golok Vrindavan Krishna. Otherwise mundane thought will come. My deity is better than Sita's deity. My deity better than Bhuttavavan Prabhu's deity. I dress very well. So I'm getting old, I'm going to die. What about the deity? I don't know, I'll go to spiritual world. What about the deity? Deity is not spiritual world. That's why Mahaprabhu attack the heart. Heart has to be purified. Cheta Dharpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. These two negative. Heart purifying means this idea will be removed. Nirvishesh Brahma Gyan will be removed. Nirvishesh Brahma Gyan has to be removed. This Pratibimba Abhas is dangerous. It's not directly connected with the Bhagavan. It is there, but it's not directly connected. So that's why it's a negative result. And no more complain. Why? Everything is accommodated. Everything is nice. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Blazing fire means you will be seeing yourself all the time disturbed of trying to extinguish the fire. What is the fire? You want to hear more and more and more. But you have to pay the bill, you have to go to job, and you have to pump the gas. It's like you feeling it? You really feel it? You sure? Good, you should burn down. You should feel really. This blazing fire means that you really have an attachment. It is the attachment to Krishna what causes the burning detachment feeling. If I don't have an attachment to Krishna, not possible to see this blazing fire. Not possible. It's fine. Ice cream is tasty, very good. Ice cream taste is good. TCBY or whatever. Ice cream is good. Movie is good. This chair is so comfortable, you can lean, you can enjoy. All this idea means the attachment to Krishna is not there. So negative is not even producing. Negative result has to come first before positive. Negative result. First two negative. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. These two are negative, has to come first. When you feel, but now you will say, be honest to yourself. Ask yourself, do you feel that? It would be nice to have a $1 million, then you don't have to work. Yeah? You agree with that or no? Yeah. You're blazing fire, you're not extinguishing. You just lied.
Oh, you could do something else.
No. If you think you want to have $1 million and then you're feeling the blazing fire, doesn't match. It's the same idea.
I don't want to be.
You do not have anything to do of need. Everything will be provided. This surrender is so nice. $1 million is the same as a dirt. But you will engage. If somebody gives you $1 million, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, extinguishing the blazing fire means that. No hankering of anything in this. Brahmabhuta platform is this. Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. Atma is very satisfied now. Satisfied of what? No negative. No need negative. Nothing positive yet. But the absence of suffering is itself a kind of pleasure. It is not the Savananda, it is not the pure pleasure, but absence of all suffering, it's a state of very comfortable. Which literally make anybody happy in this world. Yeah, Brahmabhuta is a very heavy stage. Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. Atma is Prasanna. You touching Krishna's effulgence. Krishna is, you have Bhagavad Gita. You read 14:27. It says ultimate happiness for this world. That Brahmabhuta stage is ultimate happiness. That's why people are desperate to get that. Buddhism, Bodhisattva is what? Sattva, Buddhi means that intelligence has to be illuminated by the Sattva, and Sattva, existence, has to be illuminated by the Buddhi. This junction meeting is called Bodhisattva. They feel like nothing needed. Do I exist? Is not a matter. Nothing is required. It's like an absence of everything in this world. But there is no positive. But it is. 14:27.
That's the greatest
translation.
Translation?
One who engages in full devotional service.
No. 14:27. You are in the wrong page.
No, it's, chapter 14, text 27.
That's what I think.
No, this is 26.
Oh.
This is
26. You have to go to school back.
I guess I do. Go ahead.
Okay, read it. Let him read.
Okay. And him?
Go ahead. Anybody.
And I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
Constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Krishna himself declared this absence of all suffering, disease, itself is a happiness, very happiness. Nothing of this, even if you have a sex with 1,000 men or 1,000 girls, you cannot compare anything of this. You have a drum full of ice cream, whatever, I don't know the enjoyment in this world. Whatever enjoyment you think, and nothing to compare to this. Absence of suffering. It is so nice. We hear even Bhagavad Maharaj was telling one time, I remember, he says that, I don't know where he got this from, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was discussing about this Brahmabhuta happiness. But I always forgot where it is. I wanted to hear. Whoa. And Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was glorifying, and then he stopped. He said, wait, this is not our goal. We should not discuss this too much. It is happiness. But Sevananda is trillion. Prabhupada translate, the famous verse, Brahmananda bhavet esha cheta prarardha gunikrita noitam bhakti sukham bodhe paramanno tullam api. Srila Prabhupada translated, if you multiply 1,000 trillion times, 1,000 trillion. Everybody got it? Do you know what is 1,000 trillion?
A lot of zeros.
A lot. That's all it is. A lot. But actually it's just a figure. I don't have experience of that. 1,000 trillion times of this Brahmananda cannot even touch a particle of real happiness what the gopis, manjaris feels. Perfect translation Prabhupada put in 7th canto in the purport. So here Krishna says the ultimate happiness, this Brahmananda, this Brahman platform, because it's coming from his body. That time you're touching. Cessation of all misery is this. This is negative in our spiritual path. Negative result means nothing of this world. It's so nice. That time $1 million or no $1 million is same. This is so nice. Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. Why did we come there?
There's 2 negative results of purification.
Heart, because the heart. But this is compulsory though. This we must come to this platform. Because right after this, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Koirava Chandrika Vitaranam. Shreya means ultimate benefit. Shreya. Koirava means, Koirava has 2 meanings. One is externally a korobi flower which is like a white lily. It blossoms by the moonrise. When the heart becomes Suddha Sattva, pure goodness, that time we make evidence our spiritual form. We have a particular sthai bhav. We have a particular form. We have a particular relationship. We have a particular sambandha. This is so nice. This is positive begins such a exalted position. This is only number 3 out of 7. At that time, the heart will be saturated with Shuddha Sattva. But before that come, the two negative has to come. That's why he says, Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti jogat. Bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Because this platform is so nice, that time you will see yourself. This is like a sun rises in the sky, and you don't have to. Was very funny. Sridhar Maharaj says, one criminal telling to the another criminal in the dungeon. He said, "Sun is so bright." So how do you know? Because these people was born in the dungeon, never saw. Sometimes, how are you going to see? I'm going to show you I have a big flashlight. I'm going to show you the sun, the big flashlight. So it's like a joke, Because this is not the case of our third result of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Third result of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that when we come in contact with Shuddha Sattva, that time the self-illuminating Shuddha Sattva is the self-illuminating, but not like a light like sunlight or this world light. It itself becomes the guide, itself becomes you who will be proceeding towards the spiritual path. That time the world becomes spiritual. Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate. At that time everything belongs to Krishna. Reality is for himself at that time. That time realization comes. Reality for Krishna. No other reality. It's only for his pleasure. That time you will act. Vidya Bodhu Jivanam. Vidya Bodhu, when you act, that time you become Bodhu. Bodhu means a coward girl. Vidya Bodhu Jivanam also means knowledge of all essence. This is what? This is only fourth. Then you go 5, 6. It's such a high estimation within one sloka.
Wow.
So first two is very important. First two we should always focus on these two negative.
Which are they?
Cheta Darpana Marjanam.
What are they again?
The heart has a thick layer of coverings, heavily dust. Now this is very important. The dust is a conscious choice. Dust is not a dust of this world. Dust means I feel inclination to enjoy. Well, I have to be honest, no? I have to acknowledge that I have this enjoying spirit. You acknowledge it. Then you check, do you want or you don't want? If you want, you have to purify with bhakti. If you don't want, don't neglect, don't ignore. Vaishnavism, everybody please say together.
Vaishnav.
We Vaishnav never escape from the scenery.
The scenery.
Scenery.
Means whatever appears in front of you.
Oh, I think like sin.
No, scenery.
Not scenery. It's a different spelling, scene and scenery, no?
Yeah, scenery.
Huh?
Environment.
Thank you, environment.
Environment's a better word, yes.
Okay.
Confusing.
Well, scenery, like I'm seeing something through my heart.
You're confused by what he's saying. He thinks you're
He's making scene. don't. Okay.
Scenery.
The environment. We should never ever ignore whatever happening in our life. We should never ignore. You must acknowledge. Baladev Vidyabhushan Thakur very heavy on this. We must acknowledge and find a means to purify. How do you purify? Those desires is like a leaves, You sweep and collect and put in one place, and after a little while you are happy, now no more dirt. The wind comes, what are the wind? 3 modes. They blow and all this desire pops again. Wow. I thought I didn't have that desire anymore. How come it came back? Because consciously I did not burn it. That's why it is pounding. This negative result has to be like, you have to burn it. Burn those leaves. Then you will never see those leaves, this desire. How do you burn it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare. When you slap yourself, you never slap hard. It's very true too.
He's remembering third grade.
That was a humiliating story. Don't ever tell this to anybody. Let the girls
Broadcast.
You're going to put this record in the Facebook, right? You better put his name so they know.
Spell it for me.
Jayadeva.
Jaya. Who's that? Oh. So that's it. 2 negative result. It's already 9 o'clock. 2 negative result. Who is going to say? Can you at least say what is the 2 negative result?
I didn't hear it in the class.
Come on.
The dust was the one that we were talking about just now.
And then all free
Huh?
suffering. All suffering is removed, so you'll enter that from a future platform. It's a
No.
beginning.
Speak loud. I could not hear.
The dust from the mirror of my heart, when I make the conscious choice to burn them and no longer enjoy, then that is one negative result. And the next will be, I will be free from suffering. And there will be some pleasure in that.
That goes the same thing though, just said in different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
If I'm chanting and I still have those negative, that means I'm not, something is wrong with my chanting. So something has to trigger within me that why the result is not coming. Not anybody else. From me, it has to come from within. Why I'm not seeing the negative result. We must see the 2 negative result. First result is what? Is the positive. If the mirror is clean, we see immediately the Swarup. What is our spiritual form? I'm not seeing it. Well, we have to chant for 100 years or 2 lives, 5 lives. Nowhere it says that. You cannot back up by like this. Nowhere it says you have to chant for many years. Rather it says, Ek Krishna name jato paap hare, papi hoye tato paap korite nare. In Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Ek Krishna name, one time pure Krishna name, can destroy all your sinful nature. Those are called the dust. But it is a conscious evolution. Consciously I have to get rid of it. Consciously, because we are conscious being. Through our thinking, through our feeling, through our willing. That's free will. I don't want it. Why? And there is a whole list of reasons within me why I don't want this. Then consciously when we throw it, this is called, by chanting, that is called burning it. Otherwise those desires will come back. Those desires will come back. Not possible. So this is these 2 negative results. Did you finish the chapter 10 today?
No.
So but at least we came to that point that where Jnani and Bhakta, they have one common thing. They both wanted to purify
The
heart.
About 6 pages left.
6 pages left.
Don't they
Next
want
week.
to purify the intelligence rather?
What is the intelligence?
The intelligence is the impressions of a negative
What is
quality
it?
that's extraneous from our original position.
What is
Suffering.
intelligent?
Intelligence?
Yeah.
Intelligence is knowledge of categories.
No. Intelligent means
Knowledge
when
of
you
spirit.
apply some knowledge with discrimination and reason, then it matures a result called intelligence.
Isn't the fructification of that knowledge of
People say like intellect, all this word, we are not falling for that. Why you chant?
Huh?
With your intelligence you chanting. How?
Yeah, with the common goal and purpose. With the result.
So you have to know, you have to have a reason. Why I am chanting? I want to revive my dormant love. This reason has to be there. You cannot discriminate without reason. Then you say, I do want to chant because this holy name Krishna gave, Mahaprabhu gave, my Guru Maharaj gave. I am going to chant and this itself is complete. Harshe Prabhu kaye suno Rama Rai, kalo sankirtan parama upai. Mahaprabhu told to Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is enough for everything to get whatever the soul wants to get. So you remember some verses and you say, okay, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is enough for this. And I got this from my spiritual master who has Suddha Sattva connection. So then I must act. You have a reason and then you discriminate. That time that knowledge you apply, it will become intelligent. The spiritual intelligence, I mean, not material. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, you were saying that this covering is a our conscious decision or choice. So if someone begins to chant Hare Krishna, and they've been chanting for years, but still they are so far away from being free from their material desires.
Why?
Question not finished yet. Can I finish the question first?
I didn't understand.
Can I finish the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So then at some point, let's say along the line, they come to that point of realizing and being able to make that conscious decision. So what is happening in the meantime? Is the Hare Krishna mantra they are chanting doing something to enable them to make that conscious decision later or not?
Hare Krishna Mahamantra always has a result. Consciously, unconsciously, anybody chant. But it will never give Sambandha Gyan, what is the actually base of spiritual life. Without Sambandha Gyan, not possible. What I understand from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's explanation on Chetadarpana Marjanam. But anybody chant without purifying, without under guidance purifying, that time it can extinguish unlimited amount of aprarabdha karma, kuta, bija. That soul does not have to suffer in future. But what has come with this body, he has to go through. This is a very fine point. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also explains, Gyani Gyana Joge Koriya Jatane Brahmera Sakshat Kore. Gyani Gyana Joge Koriya Jatane Brahmera Sakshat Kore. Aprarabdha Gyani Gyana Joge Koriya Jatane Brahmera Sakshat Kore. Brahma Sakshatkar, Aprarabdha Karma, Sampurna Gyanete Hare. When he is chanting, he is actually burning the material existence, reaction of previous deeds. He has no clue what he did. Like somebody is walking, all of a sudden a headache. Somebody walking, all of a sudden fell down. Somebody sitting, watching a movie, nice, having good time, all of a sudden back ache. These are result of previous deeds. But what has come with this body, this is prarabdha karma, this will not be destroyed, never, even for devotee, until pure bhakti comes. Spurti of holy name, spurti of Shuddha Nam, or spurti of pure bhakti appears, then this body becomes transcendental. Until that point, aprarabdha karma, previous, which is not yet fructified, which is a fine print, kuta, bija, like very fine print, dormant stage, those things will be smashed. The result is going on there, but you cannot trace it. Those are getting, you can say, fried or smashed. So result is going on there. Ultimately, it will, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, ultimately, if somebody really keep on chanting, whether he's committing offense or not offense, and all these ideas come, but if he some or other, if that devotee keep on chanting, even though Chaitanya Charitamrita says that, Baho janma kare jodi sravana kirtan tavuta na pai Krishna pade pramodan. And Prabhupada translated, if I remember, if one is infested with the 10 offenses, despite his chanting for many births, still he will not be able to obtain love of Godhead, which is the goal of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Something like that Prabhupada translated, which is very nice, very perfect translation. So then question comes, So how can he continue? But if he can continue of chanting, another side of that sloka, the next sloka comes, that eventually all the offenses will be eradicated. How one can chant? Mahaprabhu says this, right? Trinadopi sunichena, tororopi shoisnana, amanina manodena, kirtane sadari. These four things. In order for somebody to chant, these four qualifications required. So if somebody constantly chanting something, what is the impetus for him to keep on going chanting? That impetus has to be traced out. And if he is fortunate, he cries to his Gurudev, then Sadhu Sanga will come, that offense will be eradicated. And he will recognize, if he didn't recognize he committed offense, something will come in his way if he keep on chanting. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is powerful as itself. Will arrange some way that devotee comes back to that one point. Anybody chant anywhere in the world under guidance, only one result will get. Guaranteed will be drawn to taste the nectar of holy name. Cannot escape from it. Because the mercy of Sadhu, you remember the Chitraketu's life. Chitraketu was supposed to be a first class devotee, but he was lamenting for his son, right? So Sadhu Sangha, what is the result? Well, you can say it took long time. That's true, but what's the ultimate? He got it. All these examples given for the same. Ultimately, holy name will let us drink the beverage of that. But what keeps us going, that's the question. We have to keep on going. So it's not vain, Prabhu. Even while they are chanting, it's nothing lost. Some result is there. But then you will say with your intelligence, you are very technical, you will see like, okay, since I could have got 100% benefit, but I'm only got 10% benefit. And I am chanting. So it's not wasted, 10% is still better. Those who are chanting offensive, they are better, much superior than those who are not chanting at all. That's why Namavash is higher than Namaparad and Suddhanam is the highest. But still, those who are chanting with Aparad, still better than not chanting. Because in Aparad, it creates suffering, but it also destroys all the previous sanskar simultaneously. So you're getting one benefit and you creating some obstacle, but eventually you come out ahead. If somebody don't chant, there is no chance. He will drown and suffer. Unending. So chanters are better with even offense. Yes, please.
But unless you chant a high number of rounds a day, then isn't it true that if you chant just like a minimum amount of rounds, but the rest of the time if you're absorbed in Maya, still you'll get karma for that and have to suffer for that in future lives? Or will it burn that karma? Unless you're constantly making a willing choice that you're trying to surround yourself with as many Krishna conscious activities to build those impressions. Or how does that work for if let's say I'm only chanting 8 rounds and then
we cannot go too much technical, you know why?
Yeah.
Even in this room you can literally find somebody is not chanting 16 rounds a day. Don't take it personally, because now if you go technically you will say, well, that person, that devotee must have committed offense. That is true, but that person is not convinced. You follow? Theoretically, I'm saying that person, I must have committed offense, so I'm not chanting. I may say that. But I'm not still convinced to keep on chanting. I'm still hanging around, yeah, I'll chant, maybe not, maybe. I look at in my own life. There was a time that I was not going to chant very enthusiastically. Maybe recently I'm into it, but before I was not. There was a time, 20 years back, 25 years back, 30 years, I don't remember, that fired up to chant. Just doing for the sake of doing. Duty or whatever. Now you feel some taste is there because mercy of Guru Krishna. So those who are not chanting, instead of focusing on the offense, we should find some way how to encourage them to chant. That should be the way to accommodate. No need to focus on the offense so much. Even though in the beginning we should focus on the offense, but if you focus on the offense, they feel discouraged sometimes. It's very difficult. Soul has so much contamination from this world. Very hard. Of course, the best thing is if you have a good sadhu sanga. If you have a good association, then it's easy. Really easy. If you have a good association, a bunch of devotees who really cares, it means they are very serious, they are really chanting and they are really doing. I mean, it's not easy, at the same time it is easy. It's question of, so many tests comes. But you can say if you have a goal of life focused very well, you can progress. This is what helped me a lot. If you focus the goal of life so much, then getting up at 3 is easy. Even you have a fever. I saw. I'm not showing up, but I'm just telling what practically I saw. Because what practically I experienced, I can stable myself, I can stand on it more. What idea philosophy is giving, that's another. By the time 7:30 or 7:20 darshanarthi, you can finish 32 rounds. It's not a headache at all. But I also notice that devotee is not here. Even Bhadra Prabhu was telling me other day, like if you are not focused in one pointed, it's very hard even to finish 8 rounds or 16 rounds, whatever. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Haribol Prabhu, how are you? It's very hard to finish 16 rounds.
Focus one pointed, what does that mean?
You have to focus on the goal. Engage. While you chanting, engage in devotional service. You have to. Then one shot you can finish almost 24 rounds, 30 rounds, 32 rounds. It's become a joyful journey. Otherwise it's very difficult. Just for the sake of chanting, I'm going, chanting. So it takes 20 minutes to finish one round. Very hard. I saw within myself, it was very hard. But it's become easy when you focus on the engagement. Focus on engagement, devotional service, while you chanting.
On what level? You mean like
I'm not going to give details today because that takes at least 1 hour. You have to get. You have to engage. Otherwise, in engagement, what happens? You become so one-pointed. You don't even realize that actually you chanted like 24 rounds already done. 32 rounds done. Wow. You still feel like you can go on.
So you mean like literally at the same time as you're chanting, you're doing something else?
Or do you
mean like that same day you're also engaging in
Okay,
devotional?
next week.
Okay.
It's already 9:30, believe or not.
What if we leave our bodies?
Until next week, I'll call those 10 girls. Beat you up again, wake you up. Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.